A warm welcome to Anuradha Vedic Astrology. Today we are going to talk about Trisadaya. Trisadaya means the 3, 6 and the 11 houses of our chart. How are they important? What do they represent? How do they help us in our life? We are going to discuss it all in detail in this video. But before that, a big thanks to all of you for writing, sharing, liking our YouTube and Spotify channels, writing in your comments and your suggestions there. If you haven't written to us, if you haven't subscribed to us, please do. And do remember to press the bell icon so that you can get the updates ASAP. Trishadaya means the 3rd, the 6th and the 11th house. First, we need to understand the difference between the 3rd, 6th, 11th and the 3, 6, 10 and 11 houses. One is known as Trishadaya, where the other is known as the Upachaya. So, the only difference that makes from Trishadaya to Upachaya is the 10th house. Why are the Trishadaya important? The 3rd house typically as basics go, because Trishadaya is a basic that we need to understand fundamentally. And most often we find that this is an ambiguous topic that is generally left out. It's important to understand this basic because it talks about our courage, it talks about our capacity to be creative and relentlessly move ahead and create something new. Because the 3rd house that we are talking about is also about unlocking our karma, working towards generating nice things in our life. A smooth life in progress, the area of growth for us. The 6th house is the house of Rog, Ripu, Rin. That is, it talks about, when we are talking about our fundamentals, let's just take the enemies. Let's also take the prarabdha. It is the house that very fundamentally takes us towards what we are going to do, because once you are here on this planet, you invariably go towards your prarabdha. And the kind of people that you have to meet who will help you complete your prarabdha can be well seen from the 6th house. The 6th house is also the house of hard work. It is the house of finance also, as it falls under your Artha Trikona. So, this is where we look for our jobs, this is where we look for our sustenance for living. All this is included in the 6th house. We move on to the 11th house. The 11th house stands for our goals, the desires that we have in life and ones that we need to fulfill. The 11th house also talks about the kind of big money, the recognition, the name and fame that comes. So, now look into it cyclically. In life we set a goal, we take that 11th house. Then we move on to the 3rd house, which is entwined with it, and this is telling us that once you have set your goals, you need to have the courage and the conviction and the dare and the creativity to move ahead and complete that or initiate that goal to bring about a change in your prarabdha, which can be seen from the 6th house also, as the 6th house is the house of prarabdha. The 6th house then takes over and says, work hard and go ahead to achieve the goals that you have set. No matter how hard the goal is, or no matter how difficult the path is, no matter how many obstacles that you can find in your path from walking from that 6th house to the 11th house. Don't forget, it's 6 houses away. It's a very beautiful circle that we will see. So, in short, it's all about setting goals, being creative, working hard and with difficulty, but nevertheless achieving your goals. This completes the entire circle of the Trishadaya. So, when people have planets in 3, 6 and 11, they work very hard to achieve their goals, and more often than not, they are successful. Now, one sutra of the basics, moving into the higher level of divisional charts. You can also look into your divisional charts. You can plot into the divisional charts and see which of the divisional chart is it that is giving you a Upchaya Bhav also. That is, the 3, 6, 10 and 11 are all occupied. That means it will give you a growth in life. Now, how are you going to correlate that? Supposing my D10, D1 is showing a Trishadaya Bhav and my D10 is showing a Upchaya situation, or my D24 is showing an Upchaya situation. How will I practically put it into practice? I am putting in hard work trying to achieve my goals. For what? For my D10 or my D24, which has to grow. So, any of us can say that D10 is understood, then the person will grow in life, in their profession, the person will create a name and fame in their professional fields, which we have a chart on and we will discuss it on. But what about D24? How are you going to look into it practically and say you are going to use it? Well, make a killing for it in the field of education. Go ahead, become a research scientist. Go ahead, become a speaker. And you will see that that is an area where you will grow. Your goals in that area will be well achieved. The third house is also the house of the orator, the Vakta. So, you can do good in that field. Now, let's take a chart here. We are going to take the chart of Pramod Mahajan. Who was Pramod Mahajan? Pramod Mahajan was an Indian politician, and he, as we see, has his Lagna in the sign of Gemini. His Saturn is sitting in the sign of Leo in the third house, and he has his Mars in the sixth house. This Saturn is aspecting his ninth house and is the lord of the 8th and the 9th. Mars is the ruler of the 6th, is sitting in the 6th. When Mars sits in the 6th, it gives a person great capabilities to make their own fortune. That's not me saying, that's classics saying. And this Mars is Swagrahi, or is in its own house. Apart from that, we see that Rahu is in his 11th house, and that too in the sign of Mars. We already know from the classics that when there are malefics in the 3, 6 and 11, a person fights hard to move up in life and invariably succeeds in doing that. Let's take the D10 also. The D10 here, as I told you, is showing an Upchaya Bhav. How? This Saturn again is Bhav Vargotam in this chart, because Saturn again is in the third house, and we see Sun is in the sixth house. A sixth house Sun is said to be very powerful, giving a person to leave behind a legacy that is a long lasting legacy. We have a benefic Venus, the 9th and the 2nd lord, sitting in the 10th house in Gemini, and Rahu again Bhav Vargotam in the 11th house. He made great inroads, great progress in his life in politics and also in business. So, we see that when the D10 is showing Upchaya and the D1 is showing Trishadaya, work is done in life in general, a hard working person who makes great inroads in the life in profession. Had it been for his D24, then he would have been a very scholar kind of a person who would be able to speak well and make a name and fame for himself. You can also do it in the D20 chart, where you see a person who has progressed very spiritually. In the D9 chart is a person who makes an endeavor to have a happy married life. But Trishadaya works because it helps you gain your goals in life. Till we meet with you again, stay safe. Thank you.
Please hit the bell icon for fresh updates. Don't forget to like, share and comment on the videos, and please subscribe to our channel.